So, is anyone in here currently using either Dynamics CRM or Salesforce? No? Okay. Have you ever seen either product? No. Yes. Yes. Okay. Very good. So, just a quick introduction. My name is Julinda Prekop. I'm sales manager with Ledgeview Partners. Joining me today is Tom Lummerond, our pre-sales consultant. We're going to do a little dueling demos here. So I'm going to do Dynamics CRM, and then we're going to switch over to Tom, and he's going to be showing you Salesforce. You're going to see different things about each presentation because we're trying to highlight what some of the strengths are of each of the products. We're going to focus on probably 15 minutes or so on each product. Also connect to the mobile app to show you what those look like in each application. And then try to save a few minutes at the end for questions. All right, sound good? All right, so I am going to flip over to my Dynamics CRM environment. I think the internet speed has definitely slowed down a little bit, so we're going to get a little bit of RCO. Hopefully this is going to go. All right. How was your response?
It seems to be fine.
Okay. All right, so as this continues to load up here, saw it flash. It slowed down a lot since it connected to the projector, so hopefully that's not going to continue to be a problem. So we're going to start with Dynamics CRM and focus on a little bit of a day in the life, how someone would access CRM, start with their dashboard. I apologize, I'm not quite sure what is on here. Maybe I will shut down. Try that. This is a problem. Well, we might go to the Salesforce presentation first if this doesn't reset itself. Just give me 30 seconds. All right, we're going to start with you. Improvise. Good morning. We're just having some technical difficulties and that's all right.
So we'll just jump right in to Salesforce. For those of you that haven't seen a CRM before, we're going to show you, I'm going to say the foundation of a CRM is the same. If you're using Salesforce, or if you're using Dynamics, or if you're using any of the other CRMs out there. The two that we are showing you today, both Dynamics and Salesforce, are the best of them that are out there. I mean, they're rated the best by Gartner. They're the most futuristically thinking. They are in the upper right-hand quadrant for both of these tools. So what we're going to show you today is that I'm just going to really quickly walk you through what Salesforce looks like here. And so this is going to be what you see from a web interface. We will show you the mobile interface. But one thing that I do want to tell you is that one thing that Salesforce is really moving forward with right now and really trying to push out there is the whole mobility. They really want everything to be done on a mobile basis, and I'll show you some of those features and functionality that they're going to be offering very shortly here, and they actually have some of the stuff out in the marketplace already. But when you first log on, here's the home page of Salesforce.com. So again, this is kind of your starting point. What you have here is you have what we call your post or your chatter. So you maybe heard the word chatter, but what it is within within Salesforce, it is a collaboration tool that you can post documents, you can ask questions. Again, it's just a social aspect. You can provide thanks to people. So it's just really a social environment built within Salesforce that allows you to interact. And this is both internally. Then you can also set this up. You can also set up Chatter to be accessible with your customers or your clients. This is available on your mobile device. This is available through what they call communities, or which is customer portals. So this whole collaboration, this whole social aspect, you'll see all throughout Salesforce. If I keep scrolling down, you have your dashboards. So again, you can create as many dashboards as you want. You can click into the different dashboards. What this allows you to do is it allows you to drill through. If I just click on this dashboards area up here, you're going to be able to see that I can get a lot of different dashboards just depending on what you want to build. You can do charts, you can do graphs, you can have sums put up there. So there's lots of flexibility, and the dashboards that you put on here, again, are available on mobile. They're available that you can put into your communities or your portals. So what Salesforce is really trying to provide you is that, again, there's the ability to enter in all this information, but what do you do with that information? And that's what they're really focusing on. That's what they're really striving on. And that's where dashboards and charts is kind of where they're moving towards. And really, dashboarding is not a new concept, but putting it, so it's readable on your mobile device, readable on if you have a smartwatch. That's really what they're moving forward with, and they're really spending a lot of time and effort in that whole analytical area within. We were just at a Salesforce conference last week, and they said 90% of all the data collected in the world has been collected in the last 12 months. Of that data, less than 1% is being analyzed. So this is where, again, this is a sales tool, but what they're really trying to say is that for sales, they want to give you information. They want to make you powerful, and that's what these dashboards and these charts are trying to do. So along with the information that you have within Salesforce, they also provide you what they call Salesforce Analytics, which allows you to analyze legacy systems. If you get an Excel spreadsheet that you just get emailed to you, you can build graphics off of that. So they're really going down this analytic path. But if I go back to the home page here, so again, you can put your dashboards on this home page. So when your reps first log in, you can put the dashboards that are specific to them. And then my tasks and my calendar. So really, this first page that you go into is really, what is my day looking like? How is my day shaping up? What do I have scheduled for meetings? What to-dos do I have? Do I have anything overdue? Do I have any upcoming calendar meetings? So really this, when you first log in, it just kind of gives you a synopsis of what your day is, how your numbers are looking, and if anyone's kind of talking to you on a social side internally, or if one of your clients or customers has Chatter, you can see how they're communicating with you. Okay. The next piece is that this is what all CRMs do, the customer relationship management. This is called lead management, account, contacts, and opportunities. So I'm just going to kind of go through here really quickly, but you can list all of your leads in here. A lead is an unqualified source. Let's say you go to this trade show and you get that list, the Excel list of everyone that signed in today. You don't know if they want your product or not, but you can download those all into the leads. You can work through the leads, and then you can qualify your leads, and then that turns into accounts, contacts, and opportunities. So really, if you're looking at this, accounts and contacts, contact management, that's kind of the base, what CRM used to be, and now it's just continually evolving and pressing the boundaries of what CRM can do. But if I go to my opportunities area here, I'll just open up one of these opportunities just to kind of show you what the form looks like. So if I just open up this form, again, I can go up here and show my feed. So now I can do chatter against individual objects. So at the beginning at the home was chatter to anything that's going on in Salesforce or people that tag me specifically. Now I can go in here at an opportunity level. I can do social interactions that are specifically related to this opportunity. So again, it's a very powerful tool. I can save files, I can do posts. So everyone is using the same tool, and then depending on what they're working on, they can see things that are related specifically to the object that you're on. And again, this is out of the box information that's on here, but you can put in your, you put in your opportunity information, and then you can do everything else that's related to your opportunity. If you're selling certain products, you can do different stages within your opportunity. You can determine if I have 5 stages, how long am I in each stage, and that's what the stage history provides you. So this just gives you, again, ability to collect all the information that you're looking at for an opportunity. So like I mentioned, CRMs mostly do this sales process: leads, accounts, contacts, opportunity management. But the one thing I do want to show you is that it's a platform. And if I go over here, I can edit anything in CRM. Meaning that, so if you look at all these items over here, so leads, accounts, contacts, opportunities, there's lots of different objects I can edit in here, meaning that I can put different forms out there, I can modify the forms, I can modify the fields, I can add fields, I can remove fields. The other thing that I can do is I can build custom objects out here. So if you have something that's very specific, let's say sample requests. Let's say sample request is part of your Opportunity Pro process. You can put a sample request out here, and then you can start managing and customizing everything related to a sample request. So think of it from an IT standpoint, it's a platform. And if you have an ERP, I don't want you to think of this as an ERP, because this is very, very responsive, very quick, very easy. In fact, we highly recommend that you have business admins in your Salesforce environment that can handle the forms, the fields, the option sets, the different things, so that IT does not need to be involved. That's one thing that they're really striving for, is that you can be self-sufficient, you can be efficient enough that you don't need IT resources to make these modifications, so you can react and evolve very quickly to your ever-changing sales processes. So with that, I do want to show you the mobile app, because that is a powerful piece here. But the one thing before I jump into the mobile app, one thing with Salesforce that you're going to see is that you have your base product, and there's lots of, I'm going to say it's kind of a, you can add on to a lot of the things within Salesforce that they can provide you. But with that, they have this app exchange. And there's hundreds of thousands of apps that everyone from Salesforce to partners to just people that use it on an everyday, and our admins create these apps. This is the case in point, dashboards. I just typed in dashboards in here. There's over, I think, 300 dashboards capabilities in here. A lot of them are free. I think they said about 20% of their dashboard add-ons or apps are free. Otherwise, if you want to do more specific drilling down into items and you have specific areas that you need, there are more powerful apps out there that are purchasing. So Salesforce is a very app-driven and they want the people that use it to build the application. So that's why this app exchange is very, very popular, very powerful, and it's something that kind of segments itself from the other CRMs out there, because you have this wide range of availability of downloading anything into your environment to utilize. And again, if a salesperson has an issue and they look at the app exchange, they could actually find an app that's free that can help their situation. Again, you probably want to limit what they're installing a little bit from an IT standpoint, but it's something that can be implemented very quickly. One thing that I'm not able to show right now, again, because of our time constraints, are the communities. But the community just think is a web portal. And so you can have communities out there that you can either you can sign in and have them specifically look for it, or you can have it as a general community that anyone can have it. And now there's chatter capability. Lots of times they use it for support. Lots of times they use it if they're working on projects together or if they're talking with customers. So that's a very powerful web portal that is built into the Salesforce platform. right now, we want to, yep. And I apologize, our AirPlay isn't working today. I don't know if it's the speed, but.
All right, do you want me to navigate through it, or do you want to?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. So we weren't able to connect to an iPhone. I'm just going to sit down here.
Yep.
So we're going to connect to the iPad instead. I really like the mobile app. This is a big differentiator with Salesforce. As you can see, when I first logged in, it came to my chatter page and it showed anything that's going on, all the kind of talk that's going on. But another area I like a lot is from a navigation perspective. Where I would go first all the time is something called Today. And this goes out to my Outlook calendar and it's pulling everything that I already have scheduled. It's showing me a dashboard that I've asked for, my most recent records. There's just a lot of information that is here. As Tom said when we were at last week's conference, every single component of Salesforce is now available from a phone. And it's very powerful because so many people today are literally walking around with their mobile devices. They don't always depend on a laptop. It's either a tablet or a mobile phone. So this becomes a really intuitive, easy way of being able to get around and look in the system, update information. So I'm going to an account. I can bring up any account. It's very easy to add additional records, but if I wanted to add a chatter feed to this, I can see all of the chatter feed that's there. I can follow it. I wasn't following it, so we can follow it. And then from there, I can see all my details. At the bottom, I can enter a chatter. I can create new records as well. That's how I would enter a post. I guess the point is that without spending a lot of time doing entry here, is that we just want to show you that this is where things are going, and it is where Salesforce has a big leg up on Dynamics, is around the whole mobile platform. And their Salesforce One platform allows you to take the functionality that is in your Salesforce application and extend it even uniquely to the mobile device. So they're really, like I said, far ahead of where Dynamics is with this right now. All right, so we just wanted to give you a quick peek at what that looks like. We'll be around. You can come down to our booth. We're showing both products, more information there.
Yep, so the one thing I do want to add on to here is that, to what Julinda's point is that this is what their future is. Some people actually like the interface of the tablet better than the web. And one of the feedbacks that Salesforce is getting is that they want to make the web look more mobile like this compared to how the current website is, because they feel this is easier, this is simpler, and this has a nicer looking interface. But the two things I want to touch on right here is that there's Salesforce One Lightning. It's an application that you can do to completely modify how this is being done, and it's all wizard based. So you don't need to know any code, you don't have to know Apex coding, there's nothing you need to do from a coding standpoint, and they were giving some case studies last week that people were making internal mobile apps custom within 2 days. So instead of having a 3 to 4 month window to build a mobile app, they're doing it in 2 to 3 days, and they're using non-IT resources to do it. The other thing is that now this is internal apps. What about apps for consumers? Or what if I want apps that my other businesses want to use? So what did they do? They created an app called Heroku. That Heroku app allows you to build customer-facing applications that go into all the major app stores. And now, from B2C it makes sense, but B2B also. So they brought up Coke. So all their distributors of Coke, they all now just use their iPhone or their iPad to log in. They can see how their store is, what their inventory is, how to order more. If they want to take pictures and send in how the end caps look, they can do all that now through mobile, and they don't need to have a legacy system trying to log this in, or even reps to go to each store now. So it's a very, very powerful tool, and it's kind of the direction Salesforce is going moving forward.
You want to connect to the PowerPoint? Or
no, I think you can flip to yours.
All right. Okay, so we're going to move on to...
So while we're moving on to this, any quick questions about Salesforce? We apologize. We know that it wasn't a lot of information based on our time that we have, but any quick questions you have about Salesforce right now as Julinda's firing up the Microsoft demo?
Do you have any information like handouts that you can get this out?
Yep, actually our booth is down here, so you can just stop at our booth and we have some more information.
Yep. Okay, so I'll just start by saying that what makes Dynamics unique is the integration that it has with the Microsoft suite of products. So if you're all in Office 365 and are a Microsoft shop, that's what's going to be a big differentiator with Dynamics CRM. So that's what's going to be my focus of my presentation, is to show you how all of those components are integrated together. So we've got, most likely the place people would start would be on their dashboard. So I am in Dynamics CRM. This is a cloud-based solution, or you can run it on-premise as well. The nice thing about these dashboards is I can drill directly into them and be presented with a very Excel-looking like form. And then here I have lots of query capabilities. But what I want to point out here, and just kind of working through that Microsoft integration, is once I have this information presented, I can drill around. This is all an interactive thing, so I can drill into this particular area of the chart, have the data re-presented, but exporting to Excel. And so this is that first point of wanting to do more enhanced analytics with the information that's in CRM. So I can export this out to a dynamic worksheet, dynamic pivot table. What that basically does is establishes a connection between the data in CRM and Excel. So that dynamic Excel workbook, if I bring it up again, I can synchronize the data real time with CRM. The next kind of advanced point from this becomes the Power BI platform, which I'll touch on a little bit later. All right. So going back home, a couple of things I wanted to talk about is the ability to do quick creative records. So this is this is all about efficiencies. And if I wanted to quickly get a lead into the system, I could enter just the most basic information, save it, and go to that record. Very, very, again, resourceful, useful tool for getting information in. I also have the ability to do a global search. And this is how I'm going to navigate in for the rest of the presentation. So I typed the beginning letters of a company name, and it showed me the account it found, any contacts associated with that, opportunity, service cases. Again, a quick way of being able to find the information I'm looking for. If I go into the account, this is really where the heart of all the information is. One of the things I didn't talk about is Yammer. So Salesforce has something called Chatter. Dynamics has something called Yammer. And Yammer, same thing. You can have all of these posts and feeds and things that you want to be doing. I have to actually follow the account to post things against it. But if I bring up my Yammer instance, this looks very similar. This is our Ledgeview Yammer, and this is, you just see the types of information people are posting, and it can be linked to CRM records. So even though someone may not be a CRM user, we could have a Yammer conversation about that account, and it would all be located in the Yammer area. All right, scrolling through the form, one of the things, again, this integration with Office is the ability to send emails, schedule appointments, schedule tasks, all from within the application, and have it fully synchronized with Outlook, whether it's my Outlook contacts, my Outlook calendar, my Outlook email. It's a full bi-directional live integration that's going on continuously. So any tasks I create here would be showing as open tasks or open appointments within my Outlook calendar. We've got integration with Bing Maps. We also have the something called Insights. I'm not logged into it right now, but what that does is that it searches the web to display to me all the news and information it can find about this particular account, or if I was on a contact, it would look at the social media sites. What can it find about that person? So nice interactive component for doing additional data searching. The other integration it has is with SharePoint. So in this documents area, I can connect a CRM record to a SharePoint folder. And so what this is doing is it's saying, oh, these are the documents you already have out on SharePoint. So it opens SharePoint within Dynamics CRM. From here, I can add additional locations. I can upload files. So I'm doing a whole lot of stuff without ever even leaving Dynamics. Very, very resourceful, useful tools. And again, if someone's using SharePoint, maybe it's, let's say it's an R&D developer or something like that, or somebody's doing CAD designs and they're not a SharePoint, a Salesforce user, they can still post those documents into SharePoint, and I would have them available to look at here when I'm in CRM. From an opportunity perspective, to just kind of follow through that sales process that we were talking about, or that, that Tom had mentioned. It's a little different within Dynamics. We have something that's called a visual business process. So it helps steer the salesperson through whatever your formal sales process would be. So you can define what the stages of your opportunity or sales process is going to be, and then you can also specify what are the steps that need to be completed as part of that business process. I can also create new records. So this customization area, part of my sales process was when you're getting ready to close an opportunity, I want you to create a project. So we had a workflow that automatically says, all right, pull the information from that opportunity, put it into this new project entity that I created, and I did that using the customization tools that are available within Dynamics. And then from here, it's loading. We've got a form editor. So Tom had shown you kind of that basics of any entity in the system can be configured. We've kind of got the same capabilities here. So the form isn't loading, so I'll go back to the opportunity. And from the form editor, it's a simple, it would look very Access-like, so you can create new fields, you can drag and drop fields onto a form, you can add new sections to the form, just a rapid way of being able to put information or configure the system. Let's spin here for a minute. If it doesn't finish, then we'll move on. All right, so this would be what the form editor looks like. So I've got all the fields that I haven't used yet. I can just drag and drop them onto the form. I can create new fields. I can create new sections inside this form. I can change my navigation, how people are going to get around in the system. So, you know, pretty easy to use. Let's see. From the Power BI perspective, so again, we're just trying to give you a quick look, and then we'll be around today to answer any questions that you have. Power BI is that next level of data analytics that is connecting Excel, SharePoint, and Dynamics CRM all together. So within Power BI, the nice thing about Power BI is you can use other data sources other than Dynamics CRM. So I might bring up this Power BI, this Power chart, and it's pulling information from my financial system as well as my CRM system, because there's a lot of information in here. So this is orders and sales history that is being displayed here. Oops, the wrong thing. Come back up to the top. All right, so what I can do is say, you know what, I want to know all of the orders that have come in from non-homeowners. So what this is going to do is now filter through this data and represent the chart showing just that information. And maybe I want to know where it's a family with a yearly income of $50,000 or more. So it's just going to continue to filter through this information. And it's real-time information as well. So you create these using Power BI. And again, it's that linking of Excel, external information, SharePoint, and the Dynamics CRM information. All right. Coming back home, we started at the dashboards. There's an excellent dashboard wizard in here that allows you to create your own dashboards. And then it comes out of the box with a whole bunch of different ones, but I can select some that are there or create my own. I just want to show the social dashboard. So this is where a salesperson might go to manage all their activities, but also see all the current posts that are being done as well. Okay, all right, so I want to also show you what this looks like on a mobile device. Gotta fire up Dynamics on here. Boy, it is warm on this side of the building, isn't it? Holy smokes. It's a little oven over here.
And here it's upstairs.
Yeah, and like right outside the door, it's freezing too, right? All right, so, is this connected? It's good now. So Dynamics also has a mobile app. It's not nearly as robust. You cannot configure it uniquely. So any of the forms that I create in what I just showed you, they're rendered on a mobile device depending on the device that you're on. So it's just going to take the forms I've already created and present them here. There's no nice little mobile editor so that you can have a completely different experience on a device. It's basically what you see is what you get. So here as well, I can start. I've got home up at the top, which just takes me to whatever I've designated as home, which is usually a dashboard. From a navigation perspective, I can, again, this is going to look very much like like Salesforce because it's got that same, let me tilt this on the side, see if we see a little bit more this way. Maybe not. We'll leave it like this. Okay, so from here I can quickly go to any of the other areas of the system that I want to. I'm just going to stay on my dashboard. So I could create new activities from here, tasks, appointments, phone calls. I could open up an activity and complete it. I can create new opportunities. Or edit the ones that are out there. This actually sometimes works a little nicer than what I was just demoing on the browser. So you do see the sales stages that are presented here, and you can step an opportunity through the sales stages. Visually, it's presenting it from right to left instead of up and down, and that's the way all the mobile forms work within Dynamics. So you can create new records, you can view records, you can update the records that are out here. And I can also, kind of a nice thing about this is, let's say a datum is an account that I always am working with. I can pin them to, with my little ellipses down here, I'm going to pin it to my home page or to my home spot. And then when I go back home, I'm going to see that I've got a nice little pin. It should be over here when it refreshes. At any rate, it should have a pin that is over on, let me go home. Getting too many buttons rushing through this. So to conclude, are we going to flip back to the PowerPoint then? And there we go. So now we've got that pin. So that would stay there until I unpinned it. So it just allows me to quickly go into records that I frequently visit. This also has global search. So the search I did before, I can do here on the mobile device as well. All right, so let's just, we're going to flip back to you for a couple of things. We're just going to show you where you can download 30-day trials of these products if you're curious to learn a little bit more. Otherwise, you can visit us at our booth. We've got both products that are going to be running over there as well. Move this out of the way. And we'll have about 5 minutes here at the end for any questions.
So again, for Dynamics CRM, what you just saw, what kind of the future that's coming out? Some of these are coming out soon. So mobile email tracking. Julinda mentioned that it's very integrated with Outlook, but the thing that it wasn't integrated with was anything from your mobile. So if you did anything, through your mobile or outside of Outlook itself, you couldn't use the tracking features. So now one that's coming out very shortly is the ability to do mobile email tracking. They're actually creating a new phone app. So what Julinda showed you was from the iPad. The phone app was, I'm going to say, a very light version of that. They are now making the phone app the same version as the tablet. Again, instead of scrolling left and right, you're going to scroll up and down because of the screen size, but they are making the phone app a much more tablet-like. And then integrations. So like what Julinda mentioned is that Dynamics CRM, with being a Microsoft product, is really trying to make sure that all their tools are really well integrated. If you are a Microsoft shop, sometimes you realize that some of them are not integrated too well, but that's where Dynamics CRM is kind of changing the way and kind of paving the way that they're really trying to make it integrated with all their tools, all their new tools moving forward. It's a really big, Dynamics CRM is something that they're really moving forward and progressing with as the cloud, and then also just with the integrations in OneNote and Excel grid editing is coming shortly for Dynamics CRM. So future of Salesforce, I think I already kind of touched on this. Mobility. I mentioned app creation, Salesforce One Lightning, Heroku. Those are tools that you can use to actually customize your complete app experience. So Salesforce One is what we showed you on the tablet. There's the out of the box. But this Lightning tool is to let you completely modify that, build new ones. You could have 5 different internal apps if you want to, using this Lightning Force. The Heroku is what you use to build the apps that you download off the app stores for the different providers. So really, the smartwatch, I'm not into the smartwatch yet, but when we went to this conference last week, half of the things that are coming out with the next, I'm going to say with the next 2 to 3 months are all going to be supported on the smartwatch. Most of their case studies was that you have CEOs, you have CIOs, you have high-level executives saying that you should not be making decisions in the office, and that's where Salesforce is going towards. And analytics. You saw Power BI for Microsoft. Salesforce has something called the Analytics Cloud, and that's where they're going to be connecting to all different data sources, and then again, mobility. Everything that you can do from an analytical standpoint, they want that capabilities on mobile. So if you don't see a theme, they want to actually get away from the web. They want to get away from the web. They want everything to be mobile. And Salesforce, if you ever see them, they have a big guy that walks around any event and it says software and it has a big X through it. They don't want to be known as a software vendor. They want to be known as an app and then really mobile and moving forward and progressive. With that, you can do free trials on both environments. I know this is probably hard to read right here, so you can stop by our booth if you want some more information. But Salesforce has a free 30-day trial to see some of their items, and the same thing with Dynamics CRM. So you can try it for free. You can walk through it. Both of them, it's the full environment. So if you actually start modifying, you start entering in data. After that 30 days, you can purchase it, and it's your environment. So they don't give you a watered-down trial. It's the actual product, and you can start utilizing it. You can start entering in data, and you can just start purchasing it from there forward. Just briefly, we mentioned both of them are on the cloud, but Dynamics is available on-premise if it's something that you do want to install on-premise. Salesforce is all cloud-based. Now with that, any questions?
It's like 5 minutes, so any questions at all on? Yes.
Excel grid editing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
So right now, if you look at any of the list views in CRM, so if you list of your accounts, list of your contacts, you have to click on the actual line item and bring up the form to be able to modify any of the information. So what this is going to allow you to do is say, bring this to Excel. So now it's going to take that list and bring it into Excel, and now you can modify the line items and save it back. But the cooler part is that let's just say you're just doing some quick analysis. You click Modify in Excel, you do some summary values on your total opportunities, and now you can just send that as an Excel spreadsheet off, and it's interactive, and then you can just hit cancel and you're back to your Outlook or to your opportunity grid. So it's kind of a way to do inline editing, inline grid editing. It does bring up another window, but it is more powerful than what it has right now.
Thank you.
Does Microsoft have any kind of apps like Salesforce does?
Yeah, it does. It has an app store called Pinpoint. I think,
Pinpoint,
right?
yes.
It's not as robust.
I'm going to be honest, that it probably has 10% of the apps.
Yeah.
That, if you look for any type of integrations, a lot of times you see, here's a Salesforce app, or here's a Microsoft API. Meaning that Salesforce, you just have click, install. Microsoft, you have to have a little programming to do it. I'm going to say it's evolving. We're getting more of the bigger clients, the bigger customers are interacting with both CRM and Salesforce, but Salesforce by far, the App Exchange is far superior to what Microsoft has.
So on Microsoft, do they have like, Salesforce has the Apex and Visual Force, you know, the development side?
Yes.
What do you develop on inside Salesforce? Is your workflows all code?
In
or-
Dynamics?
In Dynamics.
Yeah.
So they have, so workflows are wizard based, so any automations, but then the programming language is .NET. So everything is .NET, and you can do C#, you can do VB, so it's just the .NET programming language. So that's another thing too, is that Apex is its own proprietary language. .NET is a Microsoft one that can be shared among platforms. So again, it's the whole thing where if you have a Microsoft team or Microsoft shop, Dynamics fits right in there.
Well,
Ask one more
yeah,
question.
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you recommend using one over the other? I think one you said would be, if it's a Microsoft-based shop, it'd make a lot of sense to go with a Microsoft solution. When would you look at a Salesforce solution?
Yeah, it's really interesting. We were talking about this last week. It's like if you really are a mobile-based organization, you have a large outside sales team and maybe even your customer service people or field people doing a lot of types of things. You want to develop custom apps and have that all available, you got to go Salesforce. I mean, Microsoft is a long ways away from being able to provide that kind of flexibility on their mobile platform. I think what they're doing with their analytics cloud is really intriguing. They're denormalizing the data and making it available within Salesforce, and so that's kind of nice because then it's just there for the users versus here in Dynamics we're a little limited with the analytics, and then we've got to use things like Power BI, and then you're external to the application. So there are clear differences between the products. Yeah.
Then the other thing too is that what we see between the two is price points. Microsoft, you kind of get more all-in-one. Salesforce is a la carte. You can have everything you want, but everything you add on is paid for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it comes at a premium. That strategy.
From an implementation standpoint, is there one that's easier to implement than the other?
We do both. I don't think we take the same approach regardless. Is the first thing you have to do is just from a business perspective understand your business processes, right? And then the designing of it and the configuration of it is quite easy in both cases.
Yep, I'm going to say that the design and business analyst part is the same on both, but the only advantage you have with Salesforce is that there might be an app instead of custom dev.
Good point.
But it just depends on what you want to do.
Integration-wise, if you want to integrate to your ERP system or website or a quoting system or something like that, I think they're both as easy to integrate with.
Yes.
So we haven't seen that one or the other is more time consuming.
And one thing that's very interesting, because this was, I don't know if you just noticed, I think it was this past summer, Salesforce signed an agreement with Microsoft actually to start using the Microsoft platform as in Office and everything start integrating. So even though they're competitors, they see that kind of mutual partnership that they're starting to go through. So they see that value, and they both push each other. I mean, so you see something that comes up in Salesforce, a couple months, Microsoft has something.
Yeah.
Microsoft has
It looks the
something.
same.
I mean,
I know Salesforce pretty well. I
Yep.
don't know the
Yeah.
Dynamics at all. And
yep.
they look so similar, and it seems like who's copying who?
Right,
Who
but-
had Chatter? Who had?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
challenging
They
each
look so
other.
much the same in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're both great platforms. They really are. But there's various reasons why people go one direction or the other. Can't go wrong with either of them.